Conwy Castle really worth visiting? What's the story behind these medieval walls? And why do history lovers obsess over this little Welsh town? Are you curious about Conwy? You're not the only one.
Hi, I'm Justine, the nerdy half of the Breakaway Bravehearts, and today I'm in Conwy, a seaside town packed with history. I don't have Daryl with me today, so I decided to bring the whole world with me, sort of. I checked in with Google to find out what were the top 10 most asked questions about Conwy. So today, as I tour the town, I'm going to answer those questions for you so you know everything you need to know about Conwy, North Wales. Come with me. So one of the questions asked on Google, is Conwy Castle worth a visit? Absolutely 100%. You can't miss it. Conwy Castle was built by King Edward I of England and took only 4 years, from 1238 to 1237. It's absolutely stunning to walk through. There's all these little narrow nooks and crannies. But out here, there's a stunning view. I mean, you can definitely see why Edward would see this as a strategic masterpiece. The castle cost £15,000 to build, which was a third of Edward's military budget. That's tens of millions of pounds in today's money. But even if you've got that spare in your wallet, you're not going to be able to buy it. It's not for sale. It's a UNESCO protected site.
One of the coolest things is that you can actually walk up into all 8 towers. And thanks to some beautifully restored spiral staircases, you can do a full circuit around the battlements.
Hi!
It's like walking through a living time machine. There are helpful info points dotted around in both English and Welsh, so you can soak up the history as you go. The castle's open pretty much every day during regular hours, though it does change a bit in the off-season, so definitely check the website. I've popped the link below. If you've got Kadu membership, good news, you get in free.
If you have an English heritage card, bring that along with you and you'll get 50% off entry. Also, you should know some of the stairwells are very narrow and can get quite dark in places, so you want to hold on to the ropes and take care. Honestly, this castle has something for everyone. You're going to love it. And if you're a history buff, this is going to tick all the boxes. So if this video ticks the boxes for you, don't forget to hit subscribe and the notifications bell. It has a significant role in Welsh history.
Edward I designed this castle using the most advanced military architecture of the medieval period.
It was part of his campaign to conquer and control Wales, and is just one of several fortresses across North Wales that form the Iron Ring. It's strategically placed at the north mouth of the River Conwy, allowing access from both land and sea. It's designed not just as a military strongpoint, but as a symbol of power to protect the English inside and intimidate the local Welsh on the outside of the walls. Not everyone could be easily intimidated, however, and in 1401 the castle experienced its first major challenge. Owain Glyndŵr was a Welsh nobleman and military leader who led a major revolt against English rule in Wales in the early 15th century. On April 1st, April Fool's Day, 1401, the English garrison that was stationed here headed out to attend an Easter service. Owain knew this was the perfect time to attack. A small group of his supporters dressed up as carpenters and snuck in, seized control of the castle. Although the castle was later retaken by the English, Glyndŵr's attack was a sign of how strategic and serious he was. It sent a strong message about Welsh defiance and sparked a lot of support for his cause.
Owain went on to win more battles against the English, and in 1404 he was crowned Prince of Wales. Many still keep his dream of an independent Wales alive.
It's stunningly preserved. It definitely is one of the best preserved castles I've seen. Oh, that's a shame.
Yes, sadly, I did see evidence that perhaps some visitors are not showing it the respect it deserves.
Right down the bottom there is a whole lot of trash.
The castle is cared for by Kadu, the Welsh Government's Historic Environment Service. Walking around, you can really imagine what life was like here centuries ago, particularly as there are many details of daily life.
12 latrines lined up against the castle wall. They cost Edward £15 to build. That's £45,000 in today's money. So why did he build such expensive toilets? Logistics. It meant that all his servicemen could quickly spend a penny without interfering in their work.
And just like the castle's clever design, the town walls were built with purpose too, wrapping around Conwy like a stone shield that still stands strong today.
Many people want to know, can you walk the walls? And the answer is, yes you can. And the view is stunning.
The walls are over 700 years old and nearly fully intact. The full loop is about 1.3 kilometres, so just over 3/4 of a mile. The stairs and walkway are very well maintained, but of course this means constant upkeep. On the day I visited, a couple of the entry points were under construction, so it pays to check on the Kādu website to see if there are any closures.
There are 6 different places you can get on and off the walls around the town. The walls are completely free to visit and open all day. I absolutely loved walking the walls. It was such a cool feeling, overlooking the town, imagining what it was like to be here when you had the English garrison on the inside and the poor old locals on the outside.
But is there anything else to do in Conwy? Yes, there is much more to Conwy than just stone and towers. This place is full of character, and I recommend you start at the quirkiest house in Britain. You are going to have to queue though, because this is Britain's smallest house, and it can only fit a few visitors at a time. The house, just 72 inches across, 122 inches high, and 120 inches deep, was built in 1590. Back then, the locals looked a little different.
This was the height of the adult men in the 1500s. Women were about 4'6". They had a very poor diet. They were very poor, very little to eat. We know a family of 6 lived here in 1820. Mum, dad and 4 children. We had no furniture upstairs. It was just a big straw mattress. They all slept in the mum bed.
There's no kitchen. All the cooking was done at the fireplace.
Oh wow.
Also, you won't find a bathroom inside this tiny house. The row of houses shared one toilet at the end of the street. In 1891, it was bought by Robert Jones for £20. But in 1900, it was officially declared unfit for habitation. But Jones had a plan.
The owner and the local newspaper editor had to tour the whole of Britain, measuring the smallest house in every county. It took them 10 years, because before we had cars. Wow. Carriaging on the trip. That's when they proved it was the smallest house in Britain and got the Guinness Book of Records.
So since 1910, it's been a popular tourist attraction, passed down through the female line of Robert Jones's descendants, and it is currently owned by his great-great-granddaughter. And it's definitely not the only example of historical architecture in Conwy.
Aberconwy House is believed to be the oldest surviving dwelling in Conwy, dating back to the 14th century, so pre-castle. Its distinctive timber framing is visible inside and out, making it a rare example of domestic architecture from medieval Wales. Locals say it's haunted by a mysterious woman in a long dress who appears on the stairwell behind me. Not today. Over the centuries, it's been home to wealthy merchants, a tavern, and even a religious order. But today, it's a second-hand bookshop in a busy street.
And not far up that street, you'll find an example of Elizabethan-era architecture. Plas Mawr is a beautifully preserved Elizabethan townhouse right in the centre of Conwy. It was built in the late 1500s for a wealthy merchant named Robert Wynne. And it's packed with character and a real sense of what life was like back then. But if you want a break from the busy town centre, you can always head down to the wharf for some fish and chips, or take a stroll along the shore.
This is not your sunbathing kind of beach. This is your walking along and enjoying nature kind of seaside.
You might also want to check out Conwy's trio of bridges. The first is a suspension bridge built in 1826, which was designed to blend seamlessly with the medieval castle. It's next to a 1848 tubular railway bridge, a pioneering design that was a big deal in its day. Finally is the modern road bridge from the 1950s, built to handle the growing traffic, but still respectful of its historic neighbours. Together they make for a fascinating walk through engineering history, all in one picturesque spot. People wanted to know if there were guided tours or reenactments.
So just out of the station is the Conwy Visitor Centre. The Visitor Centre offers ghost tours that look fascinating, plus full tours of the castle and the town. But you do need to know this is more of a souvenir shop than an information place, which is just down the road. There's also a hop-on, hop-off bus that covers Conwy and Llandudno.
There weren't any planned reenactments that I could discover. However, the town hosts quite a few festivals. If you're around in May, you're in for a treat. The place gets taken over by pirates, the family-friendly kind. Then over the summer school holidays, the castle hosts Jester Days for some fun medieval-style entertainment. Plas Mawr also offer regular themed events, so if you want to plan your visit to match what's happening there, just check their website.
When's the best time to visit?
Locals will tell you Conwy's lovely year-round, so the best time really depends on what you're after. If you're into festivals, warmer weather and lively streets, May to September is perfect.
I'm here in the shoulder season. The weather is stunning. It's early April, but it's quite busy. There is quite a few people here. I can imagine mid-season, this place would be packed.
So if you prefer quieter vibes and fewer crowds, late autumn, early spring can be just as magical. Just make sure you pack layers. My hat was not only for protecting me from the sun, it was keeping me warm in the chilly spring wind.
People ask how long should they spend in Conwy. Now you could blitz it in just 3 hours, but I don't recommend that. I'd plan on set aside the whole day so you can really enjoy it, and perhaps a weekend so you can take a leisurely stroll and enjoy those natural parks and the seaside. There are plenty of Airbnbs and hotels, and lots of pubs and cafes to enjoy the weekend vibe. It is a small town, however. I wouldn't spend much more than a weekend.
Having said that, it is the kind of place you would probably find yourself popping back to for repeat visits.
People also ask, where is the best place to park? And my answer is, don't. It's a small medieval town and its roads are not built for traffic, and yet there is a lot of it, so you're not going to find a lot of parking. By late afternoon, there is a couple of spaces left in the car park. Bearing in mind, this is early April, so not even peak season yet. The locals recommend parking in Llandudno Junction and walking from there. There's plenty of public transport. There is plenty of public transport. See? Look, here comes another one. Brilliant. But honestly, I'd take the train.
There's a small station right in town, just a short walk from the castle and the waterfront, making it a hassle-free option.
It's quick, comfortable and cheap.
Plus you get a fabulous view of the coastline. From North Wales, it's a breeze. Conwy sits on the North Wales coastline and the services are pretty regular. From South Wales, it's still doable, but it usually involves a change or two. For the most up-to-date schedules and to plan your journey, I recommend Trainline, linked below.
So there you have it, all your questions answered about Conwy, Wales. Thoroughly enjoyed my day here, totally recommend this destination. I would put this up there with Whitby as one of my top favourite places to visit. I loved walking the walls. And the views are magnificent. Like I said, I'd stick to the off-season, shoulder season. I am guessing this place is packed in the summertime. Daryl and I are going to be spending a lot of time in this beautiful part of the world. So if you have questions about Wales, pop them in the comments for us so we can answer those as well. And don't forget to hit subscribe. We really need to hit those 1,000 subscribers so that we can make more videos. You could be the one that helps us reach our goal. Next, Daryl and I are heading back over the border into Chester, another walled city. So I hope you'll join us there. Until then, happy travels everyone.